I have good news for you. Egypt has suspended their constitutional panel. Somebody get Bill Kristol on the phone, will you? Let him know how right he... Ethel, get Bill Kristol on the phone. We've got to let him know how right he really was. No. Gosh, man, was I stupid to ever jump on the ridiculous conclusion that this Egyptian revolution thing might turn out to be a bad thing. Joke's on me, I guess. Bill, you're too smart. Remind everybody here, if you will, Tiffany, what Bill Kristol said just a few months ago.
Skeptics have been proven to be too skeptical. The naysayers who've said it could never happen, it's going to be violent, his departure will mean the Muslim Brotherhood taking over the next day, or total chaos in the streets of Egypt, they've been proven wrong. And the notion that the Egyptian people have managed to pull off this democratic, peaceful removal of a dictator and now have a seemingly pretty stable situation in the streets of Cairo and the other big cities, with a guarantee or at least a promise of a transition to free and fair elections, and no real sense that those elections are going to go in some terrible direction for the U.S. Or for Egypt itself. I think this may be a case where the normal worldly pessimism is too pessimistic, and the normal cynicism is too cynical, and one has a right to actually be hopeful about these developments.
Let me tell you something. Good call on that one, Bill. Are you a soothsayer? I mean, I don't know. Do you have your... Are you like one of those people that drive by in like downtown, really shady parts of town, where you're like, psychic, I got to pull over, I got to go. Is that what you do for a living? Because that was good. By the way, the panel that was suspended was supposed to draft the country's new constitution, but the exciting news doesn't stop there. Egypt and the majority Islamists are now aligning themselves with Iran. Another nutty thing that I said could happen, but I was told no, because they're Sunnis and Shias and they'll never get along. And I said, no, they'll get together for the destruction of the West. They'll do that. But I'm no Bill Kristol. I'm not very good at this stuff, not like Billy Boy. Here's what happened. We helped the Muslim Brotherhood gain power. Then our president comes out and says the Muslim Brotherhood isn't all that dangerous. Really? Now that the Muslim Brotherhood is turning to Iran, are we going to recognize that? Hey, what do you say we stop writing them checks? Here's 3 quick examples of how dangerous the Muslim Brotherhood is in Egypt. Bill Kristol, you might want to write this stuff down. The Muslim Brotherhood candidate for president is promising ultra-conservative Muslim clerics a say over legislation ensuring that it will be in line with Islamic law, also known as Sharia, which would make both women and religious minorities second-class citizens. Oh. You know what we need to do is we need to talk about the war on women. People like Rick Santorum are just stirring up. Forget about the Middle East. No, we're in bed with the Oval Office. Let's bring them into the Oval Office. Then there's a little problem of attacking Christians, attacks by Islamic extremists, including Muslim Brotherhood members, on Coptic Christians, who are roughly 10% of Egypt's population. For instance, on October 2011, churches were attacked. On November 2011, Coptic Christians were attacked. New Year's Day, 24 worshipers attacked. Bombs went off. 100 injured. Okay, all right. But surely there's no anti-women examples. The Muslim Brotherhood, hopes to ban bikinis and alcohol. I mean, you get bikinis and alcohol together, it's naughty stuff. Naughty, spanking right now, okay? Ooh. But if Sharia law takes hold in Egypt, as we seem to be headed for, women would be also banned from driving. In a bikini? No, fully clothed too. Showing their faces in public. And thank goodness the madness of dancing will end. Okay? That just gives them more time in the kitchen, right? Am I right, guys, or am I right? Excuse me? All these things would just be prudent steps. Anywho, nobody needs to dance. I mean, that just leads to dumb shows like Dancing with the Stars. You don't need that kind of thing in Cairo, where they're so much more intellectual than we are here. Bill also could apparently see in his crystal ball how non-anti-Israel the Muslim Brotherhood would turn out to be. Kind of sloppy on that one. Here's the Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood member stating how he really feels. Watch.
سوف يأتي زمان سوف تقف كل الشعوب العربية تحقيق مطامعها في ان القدس العربية بشرقها وغربها تبقى عاصمة لدولة فلسطين، ويعود اليهود الملاعين من حيث أتوا، وتعود الحقوق الفلسطينية كاملة، يعني حق العودة وحق اللاجئين وتطهير الأرض العربية كاملة من كل دنس صهيوني.
That sounds good, doesn't it? Earlier this year, a Muslim Brotherhood spokesperson said that the militant group will neither speak nor meet with Israeli officials. That's not going to end up well. They added that the Brotherhood's stance on Israel is unwavering and not up for discussion. By the way, there are 3 candidates in Egypt running for president who have currently have ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. This comes after they said they definitely would not field a candidate. Rain Man, definitely not. We give Egypt billions of dollars in aid, and now they are aligning with Iran, our enemy. And our ally, Israel, is on the outs. This all brings me to this. The big box of Bill Kristol's, could you get the trash can? I'm sorry, the file cabinet. Get the round one. Really big round one. Brings me to the big box of Bill Kristol's. You know how people say, get a box of clues. I got a big box of clues. I got a big box of Bill Kristol's right here. Okay, so Bill, remember what you said? You said that Egypt would never align themselves with Iran because it's Shia in Iran and Sunnis in Egypt. And it's like the Hatfields and McCoys. Bill, it's happening. Yeah. You said, oh, you know another thing that'll never happen? They're not going to run for Congress over there. It happened. And another thing you said, they're not going to run for president. The Muslim Brotherhood is. Yeah, that happened too. And it's going to work out fine, you're sure, because it didn't happen in a day. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep the box. Get a clue, Bill. Get a clue. We got a box where you can keep it in when you find it.